have to have with these trucks is you got to have a fire extinguisher, which we have right here. That needs to be fastened. We'll have to take care of that later. That needs to be fastened. And then you also have to have a triangle kit, which is right here. See that guy right there?
Yep.
You got to have that, and you also got to have some spare fuses or circuit breakers, which this one has spare circuit breakers are in, and fuses which are in here, because that's where they all sit. But before the test, what we always do is we always just put a couple in here.
Okay.
So they're a lot more easily accessible than having to dig around in that, okay?
Yep, yep.
Parking brake system, what he's going to do to make sure that that thing works is he's going to have you start it up. Our parking brake's set right now, okay? So he's going to have you put it in reverse or drive. He's going to make sure, take my foot off my brake, service brake, and make sure that we're not rolling. Parking brake holds. See how I have it in reverse right now?
Yep.
Put it back in neutral. Then he's going to want to make sure that he's going to have you like release the parking brake system. See how we moved a little there?
Yep.
Then he might have you pull ahead a little bit and make sure that it works. You can hear chink. That's the air being released. That's how I know it's working. And that goes into great detail on what exactly he's going to be looking for on you. It's on the back of the page, and that's for the leaks, the lab test. There's brake system check for air brakes, and they'll go through it all. What they want you to do is they want you to get to 120 psi, turn the engine off, which we're at 120 psi right now. We're going to chock just shy of 120, like what we're at about about 105 total. And what we're going to do, that's this guy right here, what we're going to do is I'm going to hit the air brakes and watch the air supply gauge, does it go down, and listen for leaks. After the initial pressure drop, the loss rate for the vehicle should be no more than 3 psi for 1 minute. And you can tell that thing ain't moving at all.
Okay, so 1 minute has elapsed.
Pretty dang close, probably more like 30 seconds, but you can tell it's not moving. And you would hear it, it'd be
It's noticeable.
You would, yeah. And there you just heard the air release again. Now we're going to turn the key to the on position. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to rapidly release the parking brake. You see how it's at like 90 psi right now? 90 to 100. And what I'm going to do is once I hit 60 psi, the low air warning pressure light and buzzer should both come on. You hear it?
Yep.
There's my low air. Light is on. And you can hear it ding, 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 ding. And once one of my tanks hit 60 is when it came on. All right?
All right.
Now, if I continue to keep pushing this, if I had this pushed in, okay, you need at least 60 psi to push that in. There's your parking brake. If I keep fanning this, that's called your trailer brakes, trailer supply button. And now that needs to pop out when I hit about between 20 and 40. That should pop out. So like if I was traveling down the road and I lost air, that would pop out. So my air brakes the parking brakes would turn on, and they wouldn't just lock up on me and
right.
become all slow. So let's watch that and make sure it comes out. Well, 35 psi came out at. You heard it pop out?
Yep.
So that's well within the range of 20 to 40. Okay. Now that was called the lab system. We checked for leaks. We checked for the alarm signal to come on. And we made sure that the button came up.
Yep.
The lab, okay? Okay, now what they're going to do after that is they're going to have you build the air pressure back up to about 120 psi, and then he's going to have you get going about 5 miles an hour, and he's going to have you hit the brakes. He's going to check to make sure it's pulling to the right or left. Like I said, it's all in here on what he's looking for. The other thing he will do when we check your lights, he will actually go out and he will ask you left turn, right turn, and you have to go through everything and turn them on for him and make sure that they're working. So it's very, very, very important that before you take a truck to go to your testing, have one of the mechanics of the shop go through the truck, because you're going to look like a total chotch when you get out there and your left turn signal's not working. Or, God, it could be anything. There could be an air leak on it for all we know,
Sure.
because a mechanic's not looking at this truck every single day and you're basically going off of what the guy before you, who's using it in the field, who should inspect it every day but does not inspect it every day, that he took care of all this.
Assume it's not inspected every day.
I would.
Yeah.
I definitely would. This is anytime I take out any one of our trucks, I do a quick walk around, make sure everything's hooked up properly, check my lights, I check my tires, I visually inspect my tires. I don't get an air gauge out and check them all, but I'll visually inspect, make sure that they're all good. And then when I'm pulling out of the driveway even, I'll make sure I'll hit the brakes and make sure it's not pulling to the right or left. I mean, you're gonna be the one who's gonna get hit for a fine, not Barnes Incorporated. And that's all it's gonna take, is you're gonna get hit with a big fine and you're gonna be pissed. Well, if you read this book, it's going to tell you in this book, the driver of the truck is responsible at all times for everything he does. That's it. You got any questions, dude?